And then there came a day like many others. The Best Flarking Podcast. Your nerd's eye view of TV, film, comics, and video games. With you as always, your mother flarking hosts, Dunners and Reach. Fellas, show them who they're flarking with.
Okay, it's that time again for the Best Flarking Podcast. I am Dunners to some, and Adam to others. And with me, as always, is the incomparable, the glorious, the king of all, Reach.
New adjectives this week. I like.
I know, but even better than you.
Yes.
We have a guest this week.
Even better. Just here comes the bus. Reach.
The best part is like you're the king of all, and then it's like even better than you. So it's just like the infinity gauntlet of guests.
Pretty much.
Guest, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yay! I'm Sarah Dope. I'm Asian.
Welcome, Sarah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Good to have you on the show this week. We're gonna have a good video game filled, fun BSing,
I'm so excited.
all sorts of everything.
I think from here on
Potential
out,
debates.
we should make sure that all guests identify ethnically before they start on the show.
I
Oh
also
my
like
goodness.
snacks.
Oh man, what a campaign platform if you're running for president. I like snacks. And then you go into if you were to go into a debate and there's just like, you said you like snacks. No, I do like snacks. Are you saying
I
Are you saying
love
you don't like
snacks.
snacks? No, I like snacks in moderation. Oh, so you want to moderate everyone's snacking time. Look, that's not what I said. Landslide, 100% of the vote. Nailed
But
it.
it's true.
Win.
I'm just being honest.
Right
That's
on.
good.
Well, Sarah, you want to give the listeners a little bird's eye view of what you do and kind of the culture you've just
man.
grown accustomed to, and
I wear many hats.
Yes.
I'm the social media manager for Rhymesayers Entertainment. And I like snacks.
If there's one thing you glean from this week, Sarah likes snacks.
I like snacks. I also play video games. I used to work for Machinima back in the day.
is that how that's pronounced? I've never known how to pronounce that.
Yeah.
It is.
It is Machinima.
Fun fact, I almost sold my YouTube channel to Machinima a long time ago.
Good thing you didn't.
I'm very happy I didn't as well.
Yeah. That is all I'm going to say. Yeah, I don't know. I've been kind of all over the place between the music industry and the gaming industry and general entertainment industry.
Yeah. And you guys recently started a Twitch channel over there at Rhymesayers, didn't you?
Yeah. It basically started because I missed working in gaming, but I didn't want to go full time into gaming. So I've been trying to finagle ways into integrating the two. And I found a way.
Nice.
With Twitch music.
How's it been working out?
Pretty good. We're kind of rethinking the whole community gaming idea. Because basically what happened was Twitch rolled out this music beta and they partnered with a handful of indie labels to provide part of their catalogs for streamers to use legally and royalty free.
Oh.
Because technically you're not supposed to be streaming copywritten music. And when they got bought by Amazon, they had to start cracking down on all of those copyright claims and everything. So we offer some of our catalog for that. And because I know a lot of gamers are actually interested in indie hip hop as fans, I know that they would be really interested in gaming with some of our artists. So we're just trying to figure some of that out and work around schedules. We've already done a few.
Yeah, I saw Greaves was on one.
Yeah, he's been doing a lot of them because he's the biggest gamer of our roster.
Sure.
But I think we're trying to rethink of how do we, because the Rhymesayers channel itself is kind of an almost 24 hours a day radio stream. So now we're trying to kind of pick and choose when we stop that stream for gaming events and when we should just, say have Greaves stream on his own channel, because he does have his own Twitch channel that we're trying to launch.
Gotcha. Who else is gaming
Yeah.
on that? Anybody we'd know?
We have some ideas in the works.
Okay, that's okay. Sure.
I can't say too much on
play
that.
Outlast with some, put Prof on there
There's
playing
a lot
Outlast.
of stuff. There's actually a lot of stuff that I want Prof to do. I just have to actually fully convince him. But
I'll send him a text right now. Be like, dude,
Well,
go on the internet and play video games.
A fun little fact that is actually really kind of surprised me, and I love it, and I love to harp on it, is that he secretly loves Magic the Gathering.
So
He's been really big into Magic.
So basically, you should just have him play Hearthstone.
Oh yeah, that's your shit.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, dude. I was just saying that I also like to do the Let's Play stuff. I used to do it primarily on Twitch, but now I do it on YouTube Gaming because I tend to get better turnout on YouTube Gaming than I do on Twitch, even though Twitch is the much larger service at this point.
Right.
But I play Hearthstone on there all the time. It's probably once a day I'm streaming Hearthstone games, in the super late set.
You like YouTube Gaming better?
I don't want to say that I like it better. I just I'm more successful there, so that's why I use it.
Right.
Because if I was more successful on Twitch, I'd probably use Twitch more. But I like the lower impact of being able to see people commenting on the chat side of things and making sure my stream's health is up and running. Whereas Twitch will just say you're live. Google will the YouTube side of thing will run an analytics and be like, your stream is suffering right now. You should adjust your bit rate to lower, or if it's you're crushing it on your bandwidth, you should boost your signal up so that way you can run. Plus they archive everything. It's not just your last 10 broadcasts. It's absolutely everything. So you get to keep all of your videos for all time, and then they natively support 60 frames a second.
Yeah. See, I haven't tried YouTube yet, but I'm just kind of curious to watch this battle happen.
Well,
I didn't think about that. YouTube being a part of, I don't know if they're still part of Google or if it's Alphabet now. But
I think
being
it's
a part
Alphabet.
of that beast, yeah. Well, I don't know how the umbrella fall. Shit usually rolls downhill. But anyways, yeah, them being a part of that beast and analytics and ultimately all the storage you own on Drive. 5 free gigabytes per user or something. So yeah, that's where they could definitely have the edge over Twitch.
Well, the money favors YouTube. In the end, it's when you look at it, it's Amazon's got a lot of money, but they don't got Google's money. so
Right.
if it's a numbers to numbers game, I wouldn't be surprised if we in the next 6 months with how much of an initiative it's going to be for Google, because they really wanted Twitch, and then when they sold to Amazon instead, they were pissed. So
I remember that.
you know, so that was the whole thing was yeah, we're gonna buy you, and then Amazon swooped in and paid even more for them, and so Google was really mad. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Duck Sauce or Lethal Frag or what's his name who plays Dota 2, the best in the world, Dende. If we saw those guys get signed to exclusive YouTube only streaming contracts and get extra money for it to really hurt Twitch, because I don't think Amazon, after buying them for the 1.2 billion, and then Amazon just committed 550 million to the Top Gear guys to make shows for Amazon's instant streaming, I don't think they have the capital to really fight YouTube if YouTube really wanted to get dirty about it and start stealing the top streamers.
Yeah.
But I think ultimately, I don't think that's YouTube's aim, because their whole as a company, don't be evil's their motto. So
Right.
who knows? Who knows how it's gonna shake out? But it's nice to have at least two of them, 2 streaming services now, so that way they can push innovation against each other, and it doesn't just sit there and not get better. Because Twitch has been the same since it was Justin TV, years and years ago. So
I remember that.
yeah, that's my dating my internet age. Do you want to live stream? Go on Justin.tv. It's I don't know what live streaming is.
It weirds me out when people still use Ustream.
That is a little odd. That is a little
Prof
weird.
actually did it the other day, and I was like, oh man, no, there's other stuff that we can use for what you're doing.
I know Rogan still uses it for his podcasts, but he doesn't live, so.
Did Prof then go update his MySpace page and
He's logging into Friendster.
yeah, I'm gonna do a Ustream and then I'm gonna update everyone on my MySpace and Friendster. Ooh, you have no idea what's going on social media anymore.
Then I'm gonna send a carrier pigeon.
Exactly. Oh
Some
man.
smoke signals.
Internet smoke signals.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what happens with YouTube gaming, because I feel like they have a few roadblocks they still have to work on, like the whole Germany block, for one.
Germany Block would be a good, like, rap group name. So what did we have last week? What was it? Dirty Fox Fuckers was our rock and roll group that we came up with out of last week?
Yeah.
Could do a joint tour between Dirty Fox Fuckers and Germany Block.
Germany block.
I'd go see it. I'd go see him. I'll go see anything though. I'm that guy. What pub alert 3 mall cop? I'll be there. I don't give a shit about anything. I'll do it. I'll watch whatever.
Probably makes for some fun stories though, right?
Yeah, as long as you can, even watching like a bad movie, you get the whole like what not to do. So you've learned a lesson. At least that's what I told myself when I watched Pixels. I was like, all right, I learned a lot of not to do's from this movie.
It was that bad, huh?
It's just super lazy. It's one of those like, it's weird in this day and age where absolutely everyone's a gamer. Like my mother is a gamer who plays on on her iPad all the time, and like everyone I know plays games now. And then like Pixels has this weird like, look at these herpaderps living in their mom's basement, guys. It's like, that's not who gamers are. It's like I'm a huge gamer and I don't live in my mom's basement. Just like,
or cliches and what was it? Who was it? Kimmel recently?
Yeah.
Oh
yeah,
God,
the
yeah,
Let's
he's getting
Play
so
thing.
much flack right now.
Well, he brought on Markiplier and I can't remember who the.
God. Yeah, I don't remember her name.
But they're both super popular, and it was just kind of funny.
Right.
Weren't they mocking the live streaming thing? That
Well, he kind of like, he made fun of the idea that why people would watch other people playing games, and he doesn't see a purpose behind it. And a lot of people on Twitter like really elucidated and basically like took him down a peg, where it's just like, well, there's a lot of people who can't afford video games, and this is their way that they get to be part of the culture still, because they really like video games, but they can't spend $60 a month to buy this game.
But there was also the point that like people watch other people play sports. Like it's kind of the same thing in a way.
Yeah. Well, and his own talk show. People are watching a show to watch him have a conversation with another person. So it's like by the
just
very
put that man in a box.
Yeah, but like by the very concept of what they're doing, it's exactly what you're doing. It just happens to be video games and not talking about somebody's new movie or record.
Yeah.
So it was like really weird. I just, and then I think Kimmel realized that he had alienated a huge part of his own fan base and quickly tried to rectify it by having two really popular streamers on there, so.
Nobody ever told that man not to yuck somebody's yum.
It's true. He should listen to our show. even though we don't get
something.
Even though we don't say that particular thing until episode 6.
Right.
So,
hey man, it's been an ongoing theme ever since. At least one mention per show.
It's because we think it's such a neat thing to say.
It'll wear out its welcome.
It is a fun phrase.
It's just got the right number of vowels.
It does.
So since we're gonna be doing video games, why don't we just jump right into what we're all just playing right now? Like, what's your like favorite thing of the last couple months, and like what's your game?
Sarah, you go first.
Well, I mean, I'm generally always a Call of Duty fan. So I've been running around on like Advanced Warfare, and then when the Black Ops 3 beta was happening, I ran around on that. What else? You know what? I've been sleeping on this game called Don't Starve.
Oh, so good. Damn good.
Dude, I can't believe I slept on it for so long. Like, I've just had it in my library, and then the other day I got bored. I was like, oh, it's been a while since I've been on Steam. Like, what should I play? And I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna click on this. And I really love it.
Dude, you should jump into my Don't Starve world sometime. and run around
Yes,
in my
I'm
world.
really bad at it, and I'm probably gonna get us killed. But yes.
That's fine. My record in that game is 128 days without dying.
Holy shit!
Yeah, I've made it through winter once.
Oh, is this the one you
Yeah.
were telling me about last week,
I
Adam?
made it like 7 days.
7 days to die? Is that or no, like,
The
oh,
one
you
where
7 days
actually
total.
You die, and you have to go back and find everything, and
Oh, no, that's zombie. Zombie is
yeah.
where you're playing like as different people, and if you get killed, you have to go into the game as a new person to find all your possessions.
What is this game where you guys are talking about longest streak alive?
Oh, Don't Starve is like, it falls into the same vein as, Ark and Minecraft. Well, it's got crafting elements like Minecraft, but it's also like Days and DayZ and a bunch of other survival games. So like basically you're dropped in a world, you're starving, and in this one you happen to be it doesn't really explain it, but Maxwell is supposed to be the devil, the main bad guy character. So this is supposed to be your own personal hell. So you're losing your sanity as well as you need to eat and stuff.
Bummer.
So basically, you run around and there's like trees and grass, and you harvest them, and you find stones and twigs. And you turn this, twigs and stone into axes. And you can chop down trees, and you use trees to make boards to build structures, and like so on and so forth. And you're basically trying to build this, like, kind of home base for yourself to keep progressing and moving forward.
Whoa.
And it's really neat, and it's all done in like isometric
It is
2D.
it is a lot like Minecraft.
Yeah, it definitely it takes its cues from in like the crafting system, because all that stuff is like so popular now. Every day I log into Steam, there's there's some brand new fucking survival game that just looks amazing. The one that's really catching my eye right now though is Ark. Ark looks so cool. Like, I want to play Ark so bad, but I know that none of my friends will get it.
Oh, I've heard about this.
So basically it'll just
It's
be
with
me.
the dinosaurs, right?
Yeah, it's the one where you can tame any animal in the world. So like, there was a video on highlight reel on Kotaku where a dude tamed 100 dodo birds and set them to attack a small settlement of like 4 other players in this world, and these people just got overran by dodo birds, murdering them because they weren't ready for these things to come. And it's just like over the hills, like you could just see him recording it from like all these angles where his character's running around to watch him. Just like over the hills comes this basically dodo bird apocalypse and just rolls over this camp and kills them.
It's amazing.
It's like that. There's that, and then there's no in-game moderation system. So when somebody's being an asshole, basically you just have to deal with it. And one server dug a huge ditch and lined it with like steel walls and spikes so the guy couldn't get out. And they threw a guy in there who was being a dick to other players. So basically they just ended his character.
Digital vengeance.
And then on top of all that, you can tame a goddamn Tyrannosaurus Rex and put like armor on him and brawl with people and ride him around.
I think I need to get into this.
It just sounds so cool, and it's like, oh my god, this is so great. I really wish other people would want to play this with me, but it's just like, oh man. It's like only like $25 because it's in early access. So I was like, all right,
Right.
I could totally do this. I like dinosaurs. So that looks really rad. But yeah, Don't Starve is also sweet.
And the art style for Don't Starve is really cool too.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of that. It's great. Reed, what are you doing? What are you playing?
What was I playing? Well, yeah, in honor of this weekend's, I've just been vegged out gaming on all the games. Gosh.
It's a lot of games.
Yeah.
It's a lot of games.
Well, no, not all. But what the hell have I been playing? Arkham Knight still. That never gets old. But
No Destiny, huh?
yeah, well, I did. I broke it out yesterday. Just trying to see if I could at least put up with it a little. Figured there's some patches I'm gonna need. And yeah, I was right. I still don't care until 2.0 comes out. I don't. And even the theme music came on and just reminded me. It was like a bad memory. You know, you hear a song, it
Just
reminds you of a
traumatized.
terrible time in your life. You're just like, ah. So that only lasted about 10 minutes. But no, at about 10 p.m. last night, I just had this hankering for a new game, and Witcher 3 is only like $40 right now on the store. But you know, I had to go out and get Disney Infinity 3.0. So
Actually, I saw
nice.
I saw it told me in my Xbox One notification last night. It was like Nick Regis was playing Disney Infinity 3.0. I was like, look at him. He's in there building his own world, playing with the Star Wars guys.
Yeah, well, and that's just it. Is like I wanted a game that won't date itself fast. You know, with all the content that people are creating for it,
right?
You know, that's just its own world in there, and racing and building rooms and houses and stuff. Everything is. There's so much I can do, and not to mention the little characters are just so cool and collectible. I can just add them to my toy collection. So yeah, I'm addicted to that.
Who did you buy from Marvel? While you were at the store.
I didn't yet because they didn't have Hulkbuster. Everybody was out around me.
I would have gotten all of the Guardians set. That's the one of
the 2.0.
Yeah, anytime I was like on flirting with the idea of buying Disney Infinity, it was always the Guardians toys that were like in the cart at Target.
Right.
I'm so scared that I'm gonna get addicted if I like really get into it and just buy all of them.
Yeah.
Every single one.
And that's their plan. That's the machine at work.
Yeah,
that's the mouse for you.
I had to curb that shit with amiibos because I bought ended up getting a couple of the rare ones on accident when they first came out. And then it was like, oh, I gotta keep buying these. And then it was like Nintendo was releasing them like once every 2 weeks. And I was like, I can't keep buying these toys. Just like, this is gonna end poorly for me if I keep buying these toys.
Right.
I gotta stop right now.
No, I wonder
all of a sudden you can't eat.
the forward compatibility, there is none, obviously. So me wanting to buy 2.0 characters isn't there as much because I don't have quests for them to do. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? That pertain to them. So I don't know. You know, hopefully they'll create more as this one comes out. You know, or maybe do a. Actually, you know what? I wonder if the backwards compatibility will resolve that.
Oh, maybe.
But yeah, I've been trying to get I'm waiting for my acceptance to the preview, so trying to go back get Mass Effect on backwards compatibility there. That would be lovely.
Oh, Mass Effect.
Mass Effect.
Have you seen No Man's Sky?
Have I seen?
Oh my god, yes.
I mean, I'm purposely avoiding everything about it now because I'm just every time I watch something and see how cool it is, I just frustrated. Like, is it
that it's not out?
Is
yet.
it like is it time? Is it time yet?
Yeah.
Because it's just one of those things where it's like what you were saying with J Electronica's like if it's not a release date, I don't give a shit anymore.
Right. Just shut up.
You also can, it's like, in addition to being able to do any and everything ever, you can also do this. Like, I don't care about features anymore. You've had all the features I've wanted since you just showed the trailer 2 years ago.
No shit.
Knock it off. No more features. Just make it. Just make it a thing. I mean, No Man's Sky is even crazier because it's only 4 people making it.
What?
There's
Really?
only 4 people making that game.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it's a 4-person development team. It's just like, wow, this makes
Magic.
everyone look like assholes.
Just
who make video games.
All other developers are now obsolete.
Yeah, it's like, it just goes to show you that whole idea of like procedural creation though is just blowing up and taking it to just completely new places that are totally awesome. So
Yeah.
What about you, Adam? What are you gaming on?
man, I played a lot of the underrated Mad Max this weekend.
You say underrated.
I do say underrated.
The internet says different.
Well, like IGN says that it's good, but we can't trust IGN because they take money.
Right.
But yeah, I think it is. All the criticism of it are there. I mean, it is repetitive, but at the same time, I really like Mad Max. I also really like driving around the wasteland, beating people up, and like liberating, like oil posts, and just doing all these like side quests. There's just so much to do in the open world, and when you're in the middle of a quest, you can just go ahead and run out and do all the other side stuff you want to do. And I've just been having a blast with it. I didn't have the expectations that a lot of people had from when they saw the preview builds of it, so it's been a lot of fun for me playing that. Lots of Rocket League because that's been like one of my most played for weeks now is Rocket League.
I haven't gotten into it yet. But I have a lot of friends who've been into that.
It's so dope. It's just so good. Like, if you like racing and you like soccer, you'll love this game. and you'll get very frustrated because there are people who are so very good. You wonder if it's the only thing they do all the time.
I mean, probably.
Yeah, there's definitely that. Hearthstone, like always, ever since the new like Grand Tournament expansion, I've been playing at least 10 matches a day on Hearthstone. Plus, it doesn't help that it's on my iPad, it's on my iPhone, and it's on my computer. So it's just like I have no excuse to not be playing it.
You have an addiction. I think you have an addiction.
Yeah, yep, I sure do. It's bad. And then completely off the wall, I've been playing Viva Pinata on my Xbox One.
What?
Dude, Viva Pinata, and this, I'll go on a limb right now and say this right now, and I'll be put on blast by everyone. Viva Pinata and Viva Pinata Trouble in Paradise are the two best Xbox 360 games of that entire console generation. Period.
Yeah, if you do sort by top selling.
Well, I mean, if you were to sort by top selling, then they definitely would plummet right to the bottom.
No, they're up there, weren't they?
No, both of those are really... Viva Pinata is really tough because the idea behind it was they wanted to make a game for kids, right? But the game they coded was too complex for children. So basically, it's like you're trying to lure these pinata animals to your garden and live there, but you have to meet all these different environmental accommodations. So it has to be this much grass and this much dirt and this much water, and there has to be these type of flowers, but you can't have this type of animal and these type of flowers, because if you have those, then their predator shows up and they're not going to want to be there anymore, and they have to do all these crazy things and juggle it while you're constantly trying to get all the other animals there and elevate your level and fulfill these requirements. So it was like, this is supposed to be a game for kids, but it's got some crazy mathematical formulas you got to compute, and you can't be 9 years old to do it. So
I was about to say, this sounds really complicated.
Yeah, they made a game that it was art style for children, but its gameplay was for adults, and it pleased almost no one.
Damn.
So
except you.
Yeah, I really liked it, and that was the reason I bought the Rare Replay collection. I was like, oh yeah, this is gonna be so tight, playing Viva Pinata and Trouble in Paradise again. And then getting Banjo-Kazooie, Banjo 2, and Nuts and Bolts, and the two Perfect Darks. Those were all just extra bonuses. I was like, all right, I'm into it. I also fired up Sunset Overdrive for 20 minutes the other day, just because I did love that game, and I was like, I'm gonna go back and just shoot some energy drink monsters real quick.
So is that similar to a oh crap, what was it called on Xbox? The future where you're a cop, kind of GTA-ish, similar to that.
Oh,
Crackdown?
I'm brain farting. Yeah, Crackdown.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Sunset Overdrive actually shares a lot in common with Crackdown and your ability to move around and traverse the terrain. Crackdown 3, by the way, looks awesome. I'm into it. And it also shows off that power of the Xbox's cloud computing systems. That the Xbox One is a cloud computer.
Yeah, the thing where anything you can see, you can
destroy in real time. You can knock down any building anywhere. So basically, it's Red Faction Guerrilla as well. So I'm super excited about playing Crackdown because I'm gonna imagine there's a point where I got a sniper rifle out and I'm trying to mark a target in multiplayer, and then out of nowhere my building just starts to collapse because someone's down in the bottom blowing out the base of it.
That'd be amazing.
And just what are you doing? It's I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just here to destroy buildings. That's my only purpose in life, is to blow up buildings. But that's kind of, that's those are my main ones that I've been playing. There's man, I've got such a Steam backlog right now. It's gross.
Right.
It's so gross.
I completely forgot. Finally loaded it on my Mac, my other Mac that can actually handle it.
The Return of the Mac?
Yeah. All that good stuff. No, Marvel Heroes 2015, man. Got that thing loaded onto the Mac finally, and just to try it, and I put in way too many hours.
Wait, so Nick, you don't have a gaming PC?
No, I do not.
Oh, man.
As soon as I moved over to Mac, I just never went back.
He's not part of the master race.
No.
Get one for nothing but gaming.
I know how to build them and everything, and I just should. Yeah. Head over to Nanotech and piece a beast together. I could.
Come join the PC master race.
Yeah, I should.
We have cookies.
Maybe I will.
I like snacks. I'm into snacks.
But yeah, speaking of the the consoles and hardware. I read an article recently, I think on the Next Web, of an Xbox fan who made the move over to PS4 and has just been praising its quickness, how it's doing everything right, and Xbox is doing everything wrong. Either you got a PS4?
I do have a PS4.
Sarah, you mentioned getting one.
I've been debating it.
Yeah.
Like, I was watching my friend play Until Dawn the other day, and I was like, maybe it's time that I finally get myself a PS4. And then I stared at BestBuy.com for a while, and I haven't bought it yet.
They're sending you emails. You have an item in your cart. Unfinished transaction.
Here are some PlayStation games that you can get.
Adam, what are
Look at all
your
these
thoughts?
cool PlayStation games. About Sony doing everything right and Microsoft doing everything wrong.
Yeah, not even just right and wrong, but just the speed. I hear everything, the graphics, the quickness, the patches. I mean, the updates are a lot faster and fix a lot more.
Yeah, I mean, I think Sony's doing a better job overall with handling their console, but I feel like that argument really about it being better overall has really kind of not been as effective anymore ever
Sure.
since Xbox has really closed the gap in sales and the fact that they kind of went about face on all of the shitty things that they said they were going to do with the Xbox.
Oh yeah, the
And I
Blu-ray
don't
player.
and also, like, if you haven't noticed, it is no longer a multimedia machine. It's a gaming console that can do multimedia. Like, they've completely gone away from everything they said when they first announced the Xbox One. And then, I mean, the really big thing is now this backwards compatibility thing that's growing by like 2 games a week. That's happening with the Xbox One that the PlayStation 4 will never be able to do because the PlayStation 3 had too heavy of a processor chip with the IBM Cell processor chip. So there's gonna be no emulation that the PS4 can do to get the PS3 on there, other than like the PlayStation Now games, which are the ones that they remaster to be able to run on the PS4 and not use the architecture from the other system. So like, I'm torn because my PlayStation 4 was a Bloodborne machine, was really all it was, and that's all I played on it was Bloodborne, and I kind of just stopped using it. And I play my Xbox a lot, but that's because I think Microsoft has better first-party franchises than Sony does. I think Halo is better than Uncharted, even though I like Uncharted quite a bit.
Halo's awesome.
That Sunset Overdrive I think is amazing, and I can't wait for the next one. Originally, I would say Titanfall is cooler than any other shooter on PS4, but I think Titanfall 2 is going to be on everything now since EA bought them completely. And then, like the exclusives that are coming, I don't think the only game that I guess for PS4 for me that makes me really excited is Street Fighter 5. But other than that, I don't have anything where I'm like, oh shit, I'm so excited that I have my PS4. But I do want to play
if
on.
only Silent Hills was still gonna happen.
That's true, but Konami fucking hates Hideo Kojima so much. For a company that's made so much money off of one guy, to treat him so shitty is so fucking dumb.
I'm so mad they're not making that game anymore. I was so excited. And that was the one that I was like, if this comes out, that's probably gonna push me to buy a PlayStation.
I just don't understand why they're doing what they're doing. And like it's like their thing with Kojima, and then like same thing like Capcom with Inafune. I think I'm pronouncing his name wrong. But the dude who made Mega Man, like those companies are just super archaic in the way they run, because like the dude who made Mega Man, all he wanted to do was be able to make his own game company that made cell phone games. And they're like, nope, either you make games for us or fuck you, you're out. And then he was like, all right, I guess I'm out then. And then they're like, cool, well, we're going to shit all over Mega Man then for the next 2 years. So that way your life's work looks like crap. Because they're like super scorned. So that's why we got, what was it, in Street Fighter versus Tekken, you got Fat Mega Man was one of the characters, like the fat, ugly old Mega Man. And it was just like, and then, they just treated him all bad. So, man, but I would have loved that Silent Hills game, because I really, really like all the other Silent Hill games. Ugh. If only.
They're scary.
And then, like, on top of which,
kind of scary.
Silent Hills being canceled is the reason we'll never get Guillermo del Toro to ever make another video game again. since the two that he's tried to make have both been canceled midway through the development cycle.
He just said, fuck it, I'm out. Screw you guys.
It's easier making movies. I'm fucking done with this.
So depressing.
Did you guys see this Pokemon as giant mechs thing that's floating around the internet? There's some artist who's taking Pokemon and turning them into basically mech warriors.
No.
It's pretty rad. I'm gonna have to link it I'll link it to you guys, and then I will link it on the whole Facebook page too.
Hell yeah. But speaking of Konami before there, have either of you played? I was so asleep on this and didn't even know it came out till it came out, but Metal Gear Solid 5, and let alone did I know it was open world, and everything I read is just praising this game.
Oh, I didn't know it was open world. No, I haven't played it yet, but I've seen like a lot of really good reviews for it.
Full disclosure, guys. I don't like Metal Gear. I really don't like it. And 4 was the thing that pushed me over the edge into like really starting to dislike it. Because when I play my video games, I like to play them. I don't want to watch 7 hours of cutscenes and then get to play for 1 hour sections in between. Like it's just like, if I want to watch a movie, I'll watch a fucking movie, and I won't have to pay $60 for it.
You're 100% on that. The cutscene to play ratio is insane.
So it's just like, all right, Metal Gear Solid 4, you have ruined any chance that I'm ever going to play it. Like, I'll play Metal Gear on the Nintendo. I'll even play Metal Gear Solid 1 and 2, like, in emulated mode. But as a franchise, I personally don't see why everyone thinks they're so great. That's my... And I know lots of people love them, but for me, it's just like, oh, a new Metal Gear's coming out? Cool. Pass. So...
No thanks.
Yeah, it's just, no thank you.
Sure.
I'll probably eventually buy it. Eventually.
Yeah. Well, we got a lot
I know.
coming up.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I gotta save up money.
Yeah, we got a full, 4 weeks in a row.
I'm gonna be so broke.
Yeah.
You're just gonna be playing the Taken King, Nick. That's all you're gonna be doing. You're gonna claim that you're not gonna, and then all you're doing is you're gonna be playing the Taken King expansion.
I know, and I said I wouldn't. I probably realized that I probably will, and then I'll probably bitch about it. No, I will accept if they made the necessary changes, and give us what it's been missing and the game we want. Still, my biggest gripe is just the story. I don't want to go to Bungie.net to read a bunch of Grimoire cards. Like, I don't know, but I'll give them a chance again.
That is pretty bunk. Like, when almost all of it is you read.
The entire fucking story is through cards on a website. So I'm like, so first you're telling me to leave the game that I just bought that you want me to play, or do you want me to go on my phone? What do you want? Like,
I want all of it. I want you to do everything. I want you to be on your phone and your smart glass app on your tablet. I want you constantly reading and looking and shooting at all times. That's what Destiny wants you to be doing in all shape, forms, and fashion. Dude, I'm gonna end up I'm looking at the 2015 remainder of the year releases. Right. I'm gonna spend a shitload of money here in the next few weeks.
Yep.
There's
exactly.
There's a brand new Animal Crossing, which I'm a sucker for that shit. I know, right?
And he's the guy who doesn't like Metal Gear Solid.
I'm gonna be so broke. There's a new Animal Crossing coming out.
Well, but here's the thing though: is just because I don't like Final Fantasy or Metal Gear, it doesn't change the fact that Animal Crossing's super sweet.
True.
I like all types of games, and I like them across all I love sawing people apart in Gears of War, and I like fucking putting up wallpaper in Animal Crossing. That's just how it is. You know? And then on top of which, the very 2 days later after Animal Crossing comes out, fucking Lego Dimensions comes out, and that's gonna kill everyone and everything on this planet. Because
pretty much.
The fact that you can play with Doctor Who and Back to the Future sets in the same video game, my mind explode.
Yeah, in either dimension as well.
Yeah. It's and all the Marvel and DC Legos are there. It's the biggest game I've ever seen is what Lego Dimensions is. I'm like, well, purchased. I'm gonna buy that right away. That'll most certainly happen.
That was my only hesitation for Infinity 3.0 is knowing that was coming out.
And then this one will further your Reg, but Disgaea 5 is coming out, and I fucking love the Disgaea series.
I don't even know what that is.
I'm confused.
It's a tactical RPG game that's super Japanese RPG, and I went on about 2 or 3 weeks ago. I went on this huge rant about why I fucking hate JRPGs. And this is like one.
That's right.
This is like one of the most JRPGs you can get.
I love JRPGs.
It's like, imagine Final Fantasy Tactics, but like you can recruit all the monsters you fight and then grow their stats and then use those two to merge them together to create a new mod. Like, it's all of this like statistical dumbness, and I love it.
Hell
and it just definitely. It's one of those moments where it's like, I fucking hate Final Fantasy VII, but fucking Disgaea is super dope. It's like, you said JRPGs suck. I'm like, don't talk to me. I don't know, like, I'm a walking contradiction when it comes to video games. Don't talk to me.
Yeah, and we recently got Joe Madureira announced Battle Crashers coming back, Kickstarter. JRPG.
Nice.
Ooh.
Yeah. Loved his work on, what is it, Darkstock? No, Dark something, Dark Souls? No. The action RPG, my brain is just... But anyways...
Can we all confirm that in November that nobody will see any of us, though?
Yeah,
Yep. Yeah, basically.
pretty much.
Because
So-
for me, it's like new Call of Duty, which I'm going to be all over. Probably the new Tomb Raider. Of course, Battlefront. There's another one in November, right?
There's the really, really big one in November. You've missed the really, really big
Yeah.
one. It's the 4th one.
Yeah.
Oh
First
my god, my
the
mind is drawing a blank.
It's Fallout 4.
Oh, right. Duh.
So
I know my things.
So it's like the new Tomb Raider, because I recently just finished playing the reboot and loved it. Like, so I'll be playing.
I like the reboot a lot.
It's very good. I'm super into it. I just spent like hours in the forest hunting deers. It was like, you're supposed to go find your friends. I'm like, I don't need to find my friends. I need to hunt this entire forest
I need
clean.
to hunt first.
Like, I gotta take them all out, and then I'll go. Just so many games. Like, Battlefront looks awesome. Tomb Raider looks
Yeah,
awesome.
I'm really
Fallout
excited
4
for
looks
that.
awesome. I'll probably buy Black Ops 3 just because I normally don't buy Call of Duty games, not because I dislike them. I just never buy them. For some reason, it just never happens. And then if I still had my Wii U, I totally would be buying Star Fox, but I don't have that no more.
There's
so
a new Star Fox?
yeah, comes out November 20th.
I love Star Fox. Star Fox 64. Oh my god.
This new one is supposed to be a lot like Star Fox 64. And then to like the end of the year, we have one more like super major big one coming out. We have Just Cause 3 coming out for the end of the
yeah.
year. So it's just like,
Yeah, I don't know what you guys are talking about, but mine starts in October with Halo 5.
oh yeah, Guardians is gonna be
Oh yeah.
super fresh. I'll be getting that for sure. I'll be playing that like crazy.
I'll probably get that.
Yeah. Recently announced we got the Battlefront beta. I don't know how to get in. They'll probably announce more later, but
Yeah. I'm curious if they're gonna make it with a pre-order or not.
I hope not.
It's the future though, Nick. They totally will. You're gonna have to pre-order it to get in there.
I mean,
But,
realistically, I'm probably gonna pre-order it anyway.
True.
So,
Sarah, you just got back from PAX, didn't you?
I did. Yes.
How was it?
I sadly didn't have time to play a whole lot, because I wasn't about to wait in those lines. I played Lawbreakers though.
How was it? How is Lawbreakers? Aside from having a very
It
silly
was
name.
fun. It was really fun. They're still working on it, but I'm excited to see what happens. What, next year?
Yeah, I think it's next year. Either you enforce the law, or you're a lawbreakers.
I mean, I'm not too keen on the name, but it was fun being able to play some of that.
No, I definitely, when I saw the trailer, I'm like, I'll play this. Man, Cliff, you and your team have never been known for writing good dialogue. This is just another testament to it. That was like, yep, this is Gears of War level dialogue. It's gonna be a great game. It's gonna have shitty dialogue though, and I don't care.
But it's gonna look great.
It will look great.
Yes.
I like
I'm
the idea of all
interested in
these.
seeing if they do end up putting it on console or not. because right now it's just PC only.
I bet it will make its way to console. It'll probably start off as a PC only thing. But like right now, I think everyone wants to be that next Team Fortress 2 in the team-based shooter arena. So you've got what is it, Overwatch from Blizzard's coming out, and you've got Lawbreakers, and then there's that one where you're like samurais and shit that's coming out. That's like you're like mech samurais. Why can't I?
Samurais.
Yeah, it's another one of like the big studios team-based squadron things. It's like it's I don't know what its name is, but there's another one. There's
I'm
another one
looking
coming.
at this thing for Lawbreakers on Polygon right now. This shit looks amazing. You can shoot behind you. Like over your shoulder behind you.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a bunch of different stuff you can do.
And either you enforce the laws, Nick, or you're lawbreakers them. Everyone's a cop now,
God.
or nobody's a
God.
cop. It's like, oh my god, a future where everyone's a cop and nobody's a cop? I don't want to live in that future. No wonder everyone's shooting each other.
Oh, there was another game that looked pretty cool called Dreadnought.
I'm looking it up.
It's like a large spaceship battle game. I think it's PC only. Dishonored 2 looks good.
Yeah, it does.
Like I was really sad because Bethesda has a giant booth, but it was all like photo op stuff. Like they didn't have any playables whatsoever.
I have this running joke with a buddy of mine who used to run all the forums for Bethesda. And I used to, or not Bethesda, but BioWare, because now I get them always confused. But I was just like, hey, when is BioWare going to make another Sonic the Hedgehog RPG for the 3DS? Just, really? It's not Mass Effect 4? You want to know when the new Sonic the Hedgehog RPG is coming? Like, that is correct. I want to know when that's coming out, because that's what's important to me. I like some dumb games. A lot. So maybe Mad Max sucks. Maybe it does, and I just really like it because it's stupid.
That's okay. I like a lot of dumb movies.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
But
I think we all do.
Yeah, that's just part. That's just part of the fun.
Right.
Liking dumb movies is where it's at. Man.
I mean, I watch a lot of really bad shit on Netflix. This horror movie has 1 star. Let me watch it.
Are you talking about that one with Christian Slater where they have the VHS tape that releases a bunch of demons into the world? That keeps showing up at the top of my horror recommendations. It's like,
I feel like that could apply to a lot of different horror movies.
Yeah. It's just like, watch this movie with Christian Slater, and I was like, pass. You said Christian Slater. I can't do it. I can't even watch it. But there's so many. I also have. Oh, go ahead.
I gave Abraham Lincoln versus Zombies like 15 minutes. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna give this 15 minutes. I think I only made it through 5, and then I was like, I can't do this.
I was entertained.
There's one that was recommended to me by Netflix that's fucking awesome. The Pact.
The Pact.
The Pact is really good. The sequel, though, The Pact 2 is terrible. No, The Pact is it's a very good horror movie. It'll make you think twice about being alone in your house ever again. Yeah, it's pretty grimy. Not like
let me watch it right now as I sit in a dark room.
it's not super visceral or anything, but it's really scary, and it has supernatural beats, and then it has some like very like normal real life horror to it too. So it was a nice, pleasant surprise.
Nice.
Because I love me some horror movies. I just bought a year of Shudder, the streaming service, the all horror movies all the time streaming service, because it was $50 for the year. And if you want lots of 1-star horror movies, there are tons of like grindhouse schlock on there that is so good. Like Hollywood Chainsaw Hookers and stuff is on there, and Sorority Babes and the Slime Bowl-orama, like all of that like really good schlocky shit from like 1985.
Man. Makes me miss FearNet.
I think Shudder is actually from the dudes who were part of FearNet, because what is it? Fear Clinic, their show that they made is on there in movie form.
It's on there, huh?
Which, fun fact, all of my friends I went to school with did the original run of Fear Clinic, and I'm the biggest Freddy fan of all time, and I didn't get to work on it, and Robert Englund is one of the main dudes in Fear Clinic. So I just basically got to see all these cool tweets and pictures like, oh, here's me and Robert hanging out. I'm like, you guys are the worst. You're the worst friends of all time. Absolute
Fuck
worst.
you.
It's like
Nightmare
on Elm Street 3, The Dream Warriors is my favorite movie of all time. Period. Like, not just horror, just in general. And it's like, you're the worst friends, and I hate you.
Dude, I still have to catch up on my horror of the 2015, the Babadook and It Follows. Those were the two most talked about.
Oh man, Babadook was good.
They're both really good. It Follows.
I finally watched It Follows. I'm gonna wait until Nick watches it, and then I want to have a conversation.
Well, I heard what sparked my interest for It Follows, and Adam, you can correct me if I'm wrong on this one, but I wrote it down on my notes app because I was reading or hearing something, either a podcast or the radio. Somebody had mentioned that it had, because it was originally like select theaters, right? And it had the biggest independent opening since the original Evil Dead.
Yeah, it did really, really well.
Right. So I was like, okay. Let's see what this is, and I still haven't watched it.
I like it a lot. I think it's a really neat movie. But I think I agree with, like, recently, like, Quentin Tarantino was quoted talking about it.
I saw that.
And it's true. The movie doesn't really know how to handle its own mythology, and it doesn't stick to any of it. So there's lots of it where it's like, wait, why did it do that? Like, isn't the Force always supposed to be walking towards you? Why would it wait in a doorway and just let you look at it?
So if you're critical of things, like, you'll pick it apart, kind of.
Well, it's not even a matter of like being critical. It's just a matter of being confused by what its mythology means. It doesn't do a very good job explaining why things happen, but in like the realm of its own particular brand of terror, it's kind of neat. Like it's a Wes Anderson horror movie. It's all quirky and it's a hard time like understanding what era it takes place in, because like one of the kids has like what looks to be an old school style birth control pill holder, but it's a clamshell ebook reader. So it's like I don't.
Yeah, it's really weird.
It's like what
Right.
Like what period in time is this from? I don't understand what this is. And so it's like I don't understand this movie. But I liked it, but there are problems with it. It's not perfect, and but it and the Babadook are both quite good. I think as far as movies that came out this year, I think Blue Ruin is just as good as either of those two, but didn't get as much press.
Blue Ruin?
Yeah,
I don't know what that is.
That's on Netflix right now.
Ooh.
Yeah, Blue Ruin is really good.
What's it about?
It's basically like a tale of like revenge and vengeance being passed down like through a family, and there's like basically it starts infecting people, and there's like a cure for it's got like all your base element. I don't want to spoil it.
Right.
But that like
it's like going through the whole movie.
Some creepy shit happens.
Yeah,
People
I'm
die.
trying to like maneuver and say like the buzzwords that they use on the poster to like make sure like it's like don't stray too far from the definition of it, but like
nice, Adam. Always keeping those sponsors in mind.
You know me, man. Like I said 2 weeks ago, I would sell out in a second. I'd be shilling Kentucky Fried Chicken if it would get me money and push this podcast to the next level. If it vaulted us to the front of the iTunes list,
yep,
I would be the guy dressing up as Colonel Sanders. I'd do it in a heartbeat because I got no shame. I'm over here playing Viva Pinata and dressed up like Colonel Sanders. That's what I'm doing. That's who I am, and that's just how it is.
Let that man be great.
Should we really quick? Should we run down the casting news for this week, since there's like a million casting news?
Right, yeah, there are a ton.
Do you want me to just hit them all in like rapid fire?
You drive, go.
All right, here we go. In 3, 2, 1. Mahershala Ali has been cast as the infamous Cornell Cottonmouth in Luke Cage. Simone Missick has also been cast as Misty Knight, who is a pivotal character in the Luke Cage series. And to round out the Luke Cage news, Theo Rossi from Sons of Anarchy is going to play Shades, Herman Alvarez, who's a villain in the comics. And he's the father of the second Power Man, so if there's that dynamic, they can start playing that out. Rosario Dawson, who I love, will be reprising her role as Claire Temple for the third time in Luke Cage. And then Steven Ryder is set to play Blake Tower in season 2 of Daredevil. Benicio del Toro is set to be the villain for Star Wars 8. And then Glenn Morshower, who's the guy who gets blown up by Kevin Bacon in X-Men First Class, is going to be General Sam Lane, who's Lucy and Lois Lane's dad, on Supergirl. And then Ido Goldberg is going to be cast as, oh god, just one of the worst names ever for a character, Dr. T.O. Morrow. Yep, Dr. Tomorrow, a.k.a. the Red Tornado.
Yeah.
So that's our quick rundown of casting news.
And I don't know how I feel about Benicio after seeing him as the Collector.
Did you not like him as the Collector?
Fan, huh?
I don't know. I mean, Rocket makes the best comment on it when he just mimics his little hand motion, making fun of him. That's all that got me.
Well, I think the Collector hasn't got to play a big enough role yet.
Sure.
That's really how it's all going to shake out.
Yeah, just
but I mean, I like
guy.
Benicio del Toro, so I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing him as the villain of Episode 8. I mean, if anything, it's more telling that the Star Wars movies are going to have separate villains.
Have we seen him play a villain ever? The closest for me remembering anything would have been Hunted.
Well, no, he's a villain in Sin City.
Oh, yeah.
I guess technically he's not, because he's a goddamn hero cop in Sin City. But that's that's Clive Owen's own words from that movie is, Iron Jack Rafferty, he's a goddamn hero cop. I like Sin City a lot.
I didn't get
like
the
the
second
visuals.
one yet.
The second one's terrible.
Yeah.
Awful.
Well, I waited too long.
Well, it's just not good. There's
that.
there's none of the charm. There's none of the charm that the first one had, and the tales don't make much sense, and it's like a before and after. The only one that's really good is Joseph Gordon-Levitt. His subsection's the only one that's really good.
And what happened to Josh Hartnett, damn it?
It's true. What did
Selling
happen?
his house.
He just got to sell his house.
Just bowed out.
Selling his house in Minnesota.
Yeah. Just
Where's the
stop
sequel to
being a celebrity.
Bunraku, though? That's the question I want to know, Josh Hartnett. Where's my sequel to Bunraku? Which you guys should watch that if you haven't seen it.
I was just gonna say, huh?
Yeah. I don't know
it's
what that is either.
It's a super stylish action movie where Ron Perlman plays a character called the Woodcutter, and it's set in post-apocalyptic. Well, it's not even. Society survived the big war. It's basically what the conceit is. But now guns are illegal. No one can have them. And so everyone fights with fists and swords and shit, but it's in the future. And the movie's played as a spaghetti western and a Kurosawa samurai movie mixed together, but super brightly colored, and there's dance numbers and shit, and it's super out there, but it's really neat.
Cool.
I feel like I'm just living in hipster world right now. Where it's just oh, you got to see Bunraku. It's super cool. Oh my god, I have never
Preach, brother, preach.
I've never wanted to hit myself more than right now.
Than now, at this moment.
But that's the constant struggle for me. Is that I'm super nerdy, but if you saw me in person, I am very bro-ish looking and sounding. And then on top of which, I'm there's this really obscure film that you might not know about called Bunraku with Josh Hartnett, and it's super sweet. So I've got all three of these things where they all hate each other.
Talking like the comic book shop owner on The Simpsons.
Actually, that never happened that way.
It's fantastic.
That happened.
Love it.
A buddy of mine created a video game called Kingdom of Loathing, which was really popular for many years. It's a browser-based MMO. And I shit you not, they were at San Diego Comic-Con 8 years ago. And they were at a booth, and they were talking about they're at their booth talking about Final Fantasy VII. And he'd always called him Kate Sith, the cat that rides the stuffed animal, you know? And somebody's at the booth getting shit signed. So this, to put it completely in perspective, the guy's getting his comic books and stuff and memorabilia for this game signed by the creators of the game. And the guy's oh yeah, no, Kate's just really cool. And blah, blah. The guy goes, actually, it's pronounced Ketshi. It's Scottish.
No.
For real, he fucking actually my buddy at his own booth.
Damn.
Actually, it's pronounced Kitschy, just so you are aware.
Well, now he knows.
It's true. It's just still, just the idea of actuallying somebody though is just so fucking lame.
Cue the NBC. The more you know.
Yeah, da-da-da, like the star goes by.
Yeah.
What else? There's some other cool things that happened this week. What are the cool things that happened this week? Reej?
Man, I don't even know. We had, a bunch of well, not a bunch, but there was the one thing I thought was pretty interesting in the Civil War aspect. We were supposed to get a Hulk appearance, but they're saying his whereabouts are too highly confidential and they don't want to even make any sort of implications at this point in time as to where Bruce Banner / the Hulk is. So my mind immediately went into speculation mode, obviously as we do, but I don't know. That was the only thing that caught my attention.
Where do you think? Wait, since you're speculating, where do you think he is?
Man, there's so many. And besides that, it's just that the MCU is taking such a different approach to the stories from the books. There's still things there for the fanboys, but it's just a little twist and different. So, shit, man, he could be somewhere that's got some Inhumans on it, almost similar to a Planet Hulk story, but happening on world. I don't know.
I think Sword captured him.
That's wow.
I'm telling you, Sword is that agency.
Yeah, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
I'm telling you, it's a swerve.
I hope so.
It's all a swerve to introduce Sword because we're at the place where it has to be because now S.H.I.E.L.D. is this weird underground agency that has let everyone down and is slowly trying to piece itself back together with the helicarriers being back and all this other stuff. And now it's time for something like Sword to come out because the Inhumans are showing up. The Sokovia Accords are going to happen in Captain America 3.
Yeah.
There has to be an organization that fights the superpowered threat.
That's right.
And that's always been Sword. Has always been that agency. Like S.H.I.E.L.D.'s been the one that's like cleans up after shit goes awry, but Sword is the one that always like goes on the offensive. Thus the whole idea of Sword and S.H.I.E.L.D. in the old, terminology, like medieval terminology. And I think that even way back in like the first two Iron Men, they even reference that paradigm. I think there's Tony Stark invented a piece of technology that he claimed was a shield, when in actuality it's the best sword we've ever had.
Yep.
And it's just like, wow, that's the perfect analogy for the two warring organizations in Marvel's universe. I wonder if that was on purpose. So, I think it's Sword that has him, which would make sense. Because then we can find out why General Thaddeus Ross can turn into Red Hulk. I think we're gonna get Red Hulk, dude. I think we're getting Rulk in Civil War. I feel it.
Yep, I can feel it.
I can feel like we're getting Red Hulk in the Civil War.
I hope so.
And I think it's coming soon. Did you see, speaking of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., did you see they released a picture of Lash today?
No.
Yeah, they
Sarah,
released
are you watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. at all? Or do you watch
I
TV?
was about to interrupt you guys and ask you if I should start watching this.
The first season's a struggle.
tough.
Yeah. We're both like, it's a struggle. It's literally
But the second season's pretty awesome.
Well, that's how I feel because when it came out, I started watching and I was like, oh man, like I just don't know if I can get into this. And then it just never happened. And then I feel like I tried to rewatch it again and it still didn't happen.
I don't know. Adam and I are just fanboys for any of the Marvel shit. You can just spoon feed it to us and we're good.
Slap Ant-Man on something and I'm there.
So seeing Inhumans and all these other references, but not only that, but the tie-ins to the cinematic universe is the payoff for us. But definitely the second season, Adam, you can attest to that. First is a struggle, second is the payoff. Yeah, but that's it, is you don't get the payoff of the second season unless you endure the first.
It's true. It's the same thing where it's like when I tell people like getting into Doctor Who, it's like if you're gonna start and watch the reboot, you're gonna struggle through the first season, but after that, it becomes the greatest show of all time, and you kind of have to suffer through that first season, but you won't mind it so much once you get to the really good stuff.
Right.
Who had the
Just
photo
suck it up
of
and power
Lash?
through.
Comic book movie? Well, I mean, I saw it in the he's at the end of the trailer for the tease for this season.
Oh man, I can't really see where.
And he looks just like his comic book character.
Yeah, it's like the shot of him from the side in the shadows or whatever. That's
that's the end of the trailer.
Yeah, that's what they showed from the that's what they showed. They put it released online. He I don't want to sound like I'm shitting on it, but he looks like the cockatiel from the old children's show Zoobilee Zoo. Which I feel like nobody knows what I'm talking about, which is understandable because Zoobilee Zoo was not very popular as far as kids shows go. I mean, I guess now is as good a time as any. We should probably just start wrapping her up. Sarah, is there anything you would like to plug to the listeners about, where they can follow you and look at your awesome photography and, on the internets and watch you play games and such?
I am Sarah Dope on Twitter, Sarah with an H, and also on Instagram and Facebook. on almost all the things. Almost.
Yes.
And yeah. That's me.
All right. So go follow, like, subscribe, everything, all the words that are required to track someone online. If you like the podcast, and we hope that you do, we are on iTunes as the Best Flarking Podcast. If you want to go on there and give us a 1 to 5 star review, 5 star being the only review that we personally accept. So go ahead and hit 5 stars and then write why we're so good in the little comment box. We're also on Stitcher. If you, for some reason, you hate iTunes, but you still want to be a part of a giant conglomerate's way to monopolize music and sound, we're on Stitcher as well, so you can go on there and search us as the Best Flarking Podcast. And if you listen on Stitcher, we'll make direct money from it, so that's always a benefit for us. We are also on the SoundCloud, where you can listen to all of our stuff. All the episodes, all 8 are up there, and this one will be up there shortly thereafter. Or if for some reason you hate all the audio streaming ones and you want to do it on YouTube, all of the episodes are on YouTube, with the exception of last week's episode, which will be going up probably tomorrow morning along with this episode. So we'll have a double dip for the YouTube crowd, which also is where you have our characters of the week, which this week it's going to be Throg, which is Thor, but he's a frog. Frog Thor, lovingly known as Throg. So you can check that out, and that'll be up tomorrow as well. And then we are also on Instagram and
Vine now.
And Vine. But we're the Best Flarking Podcast on Instagram. We are Mother Flarker on Vine and Twitter.
Oh yeah.
So those are all of our places. And then, for some reason you want to follow me, I'm at Adam J. Dunn on just about all of my social media platforms, and A. Dunners on all of my gaming stuff. Yeah. What about you, Reg?
I am at Nick Regis, NICREGIS, if you want to follow me and any of my shenanigans.
And we do.
For lack of a better term.
Your shenanigans are the best kind of shenanigans.
I like shenanigans.
This is true.
All right, well, that's going to do it for us for this time.
Yeah, thank you, Sarah, for being on.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
You're welcome to come back whenever you want to talk video games, because we like to fancy this as a complete pop culture podcast, but it's almost entirely dominated by me and Nick just going, and this comic thing happened, and this comic thing happened, and this is comic books, and I like comic books. And he's like, I like comic books too. I'm like, oh, comics. And then it's over. So it's nice to be able to talk video games almost entirely for one of them. Agreed. So thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. Let's do it again soon.
No problem. So, you guys have been awesome for listening, and we have been awesome too. Also, we are
the Best Flarking Podcast.